Hello, welcome Patched. I'm your host, Paul James. I'm joined by Matto Phillips. How are you, mate?
Yeah, great.
Confused.
Excellent.
Did I sound slightly off then?
No,
Oh, I was going to say, I sound
don't
like someone
believe
who's
so.
just woken up. And that'd be right. So, good. That was a weird, awkward start, but we'll jump straight into things from here. We've got 4 different topics today. It is one of those kind of news bite style episodes. We've got a few different things to cover because there's a little bit that's been going on in games, but none of it, I guess, necessarily warrants an episode on its own. We'll start from the top. God of War, but also actually Sonic, have leaked.
What?
Shit.
Hey, Sonic's leaked? Did
Sonic's
anyone
leaked as
care?
well. No one's cared at all. So it's a
Clearly
weird one.
not.
We've got games breaking street date left, right, and center at the moment, but God of War is obviously the big one. And spoilers are out there all over the internet for those who are desperately trying to avoid God of War stuff. This is your big warning if you weren't aware already. Just please tread carefully. You don't want Ragnarok spoilers
Spoiler.
out there.
There's a huge spoiler is that Kratos is in the game and he has an axe.
And he has a child.
And a grown child from the last one. I mean, I know it's shocking.
Big boy.
He's now called Big Boy.
That's the logical sort of name. What are you thinking though? Like, I mean, you're obviously playing 2018 at the moment, and so I already spoiled a couple of things for you last week.
Yeah, I wasn't
during last week's episode.
I've completely lost it.
Oh, good.
Paid no attention to it. You said some things about some blades and that from the first game. I was like, oh, whatever, don't really care. But I did find the head. I got the head now.
Oh, you got with me. Cool.
The man in the tree, as I was called him. And God damn, he just does not shut up. Has some good stories, but
yeah, good stories.
God, and I just find okay. I know we got a bit off topic, but when you're in the boat, it's the funniest thing because you got Atreus. And sitting next to him is the head. Because I was trying to figure out what the head was. I was like, wait, is Kratos sitting? So is Kratos sitting on the head? I was looking for it. I go, oh, it's next to the boy. So that makes sense why they're having a conversation, and Kratos is just there paddling along because he's the main character. Because that would be stupid if you're just sitting in a boat doing absolutely nothing. It's just pointless. But going back to Ragnarok, it got released. Was it 2 weeks early? I thought it was coming out this week.
No, it's out. Yeah, it's out the 9th. It's a weird one. I've kind of got all things warped in my head because the review embargo is this Friday. So expect people watching.
So it's a week.
Yeah.
They're allowing it a week early.
About 5 days early for the review embargo specifically. But that's fine. That's not unusual. That's usually a really big sign of confidence from any developer and publisher when they put it out that early. Versus another game that launches in that same period of time whose embargo I know and it displays a hell of a lot less confidence. No, that shit's already been delayed. That got delayed again.
Yeah, that's sailed to next year. That one. There's another one.
Another game coming out in that same ballpark as God of War.
Oh, it's the Xbox version of God of War.
Oh, Dad of Boy.
Oh, no, I can't remember what it's called. War of something Sparta. I don't know.
Zeus
something
of Child.
Stupid. Yeah, that one.
A game coming out at a similar time that the embargo would display a lack of confidence. But anyway, we'll wait and see in that regard. What are you making of those two games getting their street dates breaking all over the place?
Well, let's be honest. No one's going to be talking about Sonic because most people are like, wait, Sonic's still around?
Well, there's a bit of that.
But yes, the big one, if you got a PlayStation 5, you can get on PlayStation 4, but why would you? You might as well get on 5 if you got a PlayStation 5.
And they're all over the place now. I guess that's a kind of important thing to note for anyone who's maybe struggled at the moment. The PS5s are popping up all over the world at the moment.
They've just let the gates open. It's like, right, let all the PS5s out. Go. And they're just everywhere now. I haven't seen them in stores yet. I haven't seen them in stores yet, except for cash converters, because no one wants a dodgy PS5 from cash converters. But they're everywhere. They're on Amazon, they're on EB Games, they're on JB. They're just popping up everywhere. It used to be once every month they used to just randomly appear. Now they're just weekly. Every week almost. And the funny thing is, though, with the PS5, ever since it's gone up that $50, everyone just doesn't want to touch it. That whole $50. Because if it wasn't for the $50, I would have never got my PS5.
Yeah.
Because,
I guess.
Because I looked at it and said, I think it was like pre-orders were like 11 o'clock, and it was about 2 o'clock when I saw the notice for. I thought, oh, there's probably going to be none there. Had a look, and would you believe they were still doing pre-orders? I thought, my God.
Yeah, I remember all that one as well.
It's a sign.
So
it's like, yes, pay an extra $50, but hey, I now have a PS5 because I'm not paying double the price to get it from cash converters.
Well, I don't think it was even the extra $50. Like, it was just like that was probably the first sign that holy shit, like they're getting lots and lots of stock now, because that $50 was mostly disappearing because it was still that Horizon bundle, and like it was.
Yeah, but I think the problem was because they saw like it was $900. I think that just sort of threw people off. They thought $900 dues instead of $849.95, because that is such a better looking price than $850. But that's Horizon. So again, okay, back to the Ragnarok thing. Not Sonic, because no one cares about Sonic.
No, who cares about Sonic?
Some people do. Some people in their maybe in their 50s who used to play it on the old Mega Drive.
I remember Sonic when it was good. Like, no, you don't. Sonic was never
Sonic
good.
Sonic used to be cool. No, it didn't. You thought it was cool because you had a Sega.
The only good thing that Sonic's done is those movies. It's not the games.
Yeah, the movies, and I was going to say the Olympics, but that's a lie. That's
not good.
No, the movies are really good. I will give them credit for that. It's the best video game movie of any. And I watched that Mortal Kombat one. That was rubbish. But God of War Ragnarok, the early release, it sucks. But especially for the spoiler side of things, that's
what it's about.
Because, like I said, was it the first one came out 2018? I've seemed to avoid all spoilers until about, let's just be honest, last week, where there was a blade and a head that talks to you, which I found one of those two things. And I don't know, for something with video games, I always find it easy to dodge, where compared to a movie, it's just, or TV shows for that matter, because for some reason people just have to watch it and then have to tweet about it and ruin it for everyone. Not so much, like, I don't know, I think Obi-Wan Kenobi was one because they had something there, and it was like, why? It just came out an hour ago and you're already tweeting about it. I know you can mute words and that, but that's so much effort I can't be bothered. Then half the time I'm going, where's all these things I can't see? And then realise I muted it years ago. And...
Well, apologies to people for like delving into Obi-Wan Kenobi spoilers. Or even like Mandalorian spoilers, I guess is probably even the best one for me. And the example I was going to reference is like...
Well, that's the reason why I started watching The Mandalorian, because of what happened in the end of the second season. I was like, I might as well just watch it now. And...
I finally came back to it starting this week, so I'm not actually...
Oh, wow.
I'm not actually up to that point yet. But, like, the internet spoiled what happened, exactly as you described, like, within an hour of the show. And it's impossible to mute these things, because you might try and mute Obi-Wan Kenobi, but then, and again, this is me spoiling the key thing. Like, someone will just shout out, Luke Skywalker. Like that's all they put in. Like you can't know that. So like you don't know what to mute beforehand, and so boom, there it is.
Then Luke Skywalker comes up, and then Mark Hamill's on Twitter going, "What the hell's Luke Skywalker coming up for?" Reasons. Well, he does know, because let's be honest, he knew, but it's just everyone's like, "Oh, you're good for Star Wars." Like, hey, he used to be Joker, but back to God of War,
that's the worst thing, because like now, like YouTube thumbnails just have like spoilers all over it, and the algorithm just puts them in front of you, so you can't know what's going to come up. You just have to avoid everything.
You can't mute that stuff either. It's just there. There's no dodging it.
Well, if you've been watching God of War trailers as they get released, then the algorithm's going to go, "Oh, you want more God of War? Boom! There's a spoiler in your face."
Unlike this guy, who avoided all God of War things, and no God of War for me, it'd be silly.
No, you've done that well.
Yes. See. There was a silly reason for me not to check God of War things, because one, hadn't played it yet for one key reason, and then got ruined again anyway because was it Thor's in it, which I don't know why, because everyone's like, "Oh, there's this thing," and I said, "That was Thor, is it?" He's like, "Yeah, it is." Like, don't care.
That's I'll find out what. He's a Nordic god. That one's not necessarily hard.
It's not really a giveaway.
Yeah,
it's just because like, oh my god, he's in the game and he's voiced by the guy from Remember the Titans and Sons of Anarchy, that dude.
Yeah, that one's not such a big spoiler. Like it's not really surprising. In fact, you're almost like, oh, what? He's not in 2018.
Like,
well,
yeah, it was like, I don't know yet, because I haven't even got that far yet. So this whole Thor thing, I don't really care about, because I haven't played God of War. Well, I hadn't played God of War back then. It didn't really bother me. They just said, "Oh, Thor's there." I was like, cool. Is Korg there? Then I realised that's a different franchise altogether. That
wrong thought.
Korg and Beak.
Yeah.
They just like show up too. No.
Just my one bit of advice, since you are playing God of War 2018 at the moment, is when you finish the main objective and you've kind of what you think you've finished the game.
Oh, it's one of those ones.
Go to Kratos' house. Go home.
Okay.
Just make sure you do that.
Kratos said not to go home. It's not safe.
No, when everything's done.
When it is all safe. Okay.
Yeah. Credits have rolled, then go home.
Okay.
Or is it do the main objective, go home, credits? Okay. Like, either way, just make sure when you get that they want to go to the top of the mountain to spread phase ashes. Don't
worry about it. Just ignore that and just go home.
No, when you've completed your main objective.
All right. So it's not one of those things where
spoilers. You do that.
Of course. It's not really a spoiler. That's the main objective of the game. So if we just got to the top of the mountain and just said, "No, let's go home and not spread the ashes," oh man, no, it'd be like I played 20 hours of this game to just go
for what?
Nah.
And everyone says this is game of the year. Fuck you.
Kratos just gets up there and goes, "Nah, fuck it," and just come back down. It's like, I know you're just unhappy. The boy did do something wrong just to piss you off. Like, right, if you say something one more time, boy, we're going home.
We'll wait till we get to the top, and then that's it. We're going home. I'll do it myself.
He shot an arrow into a barrel, and that was it. Stole the bow off him, and that was it. We're going home, boy.
So on our last kind of note for God of War, before we move on to one of our several other topics, just some tweets from Corey Barlog as the news kind of popped up.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
His first one was really interesting because there's been a lot of frustration around Call of Duty this week in the last week or so, because Modern Warfare 2 came out, and if you buy the retail disc, there's literally 70 meg of data on it. That's it. It's because it's basically just a launcher.
400 gigs of updates.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
So the disc is basically just a launcher, and so it's interesting, like the Corey's basically just kind of highlighted that. He's like, right now I can really understand the benefit of having just an installer on the physical disc. He then follows up with a retail selling the game nearly 2 weeks before release. Just so disappointing. Sorry to everyone that you have to dodge the spoilers if you want to play the game fresh. Completely fucking stupid. You have to do this. This is not at all how any of the Santa Monica studio wanted things to go. So obviously he kind of feels, I guess in a different way because he actually created it, so he knows the spoilers, but like feels the pain of everyone who's either having to duck and cover all the time, or will have something spoiled, unfortunately, through social media or YouTube or whatever the case happens to be. So I guess for everyone, especially like including you, Matto, since you are obviously rushing through not rushing, but making your way through 2018 at the moment. But
still got 2 weeks. Still got a week and a half, so I've got plenty of time.
Just good luck, I guess. Hope it doesn't get spoiled for you.
Well, see, if I'm playing God of War, right, I'm not going to pay attention to any social media stuff because I'm more focused on throwing it actually through someone's head.
I'd imagine your circle, for the most part, is not the sort that's going to spoil it for you anyway, so you should hopefully be okay. I at the time was hosting a PlayStation show, so I was like a lightning rod for stupid stuff, and yet when The Last of Us 2 spoilers were out there, I never got spoiled. So,
wow, amazing!
Like I think it's possible to dodge these sorts of bullets. Anyway,
especially games, I find with games they're more easy to dodge than, like we said, TV shows or movies. For some reason, I don't understand why it's so much easier to dodge a game. But especially,
kind of can be.
Being with God of War coming out 2 weeks early, when you get to the actual release date, not whatever. I think was it Target or something, or some big retailer.
Yeah,
I can't remember who it was. I think pretty sure it was Target.
Target did it. Yeah, Target's responsible for one of. No, actually, yeah. Sorry, it was Target. You're right, because it turns out from what I've seen, it looks like it might have been JB here that did Sonic.
Oh,
so
maybe they'll just try to do Sonic a favor and just say,
send him out to die already.
Hey guys, Sonic's here. It's like, can we just thought, maybe we'll just give it a fighting chance against God of War. Maybe it's not really the worst thing for Sonic. But at the end of the day, like we said, no one cares about poor Sonic. Except the movie.
Bring on our digital future, then none of this shit can happen. All right, next thing is Hellena Taylor, who we've kind of loosely touched on over the course of the last couple of weeks with her kind of Bayonetta story there. And there's kind of been some developments in it. I guess for anyone unaware or maybe missed it when we discussed it the other day or a couple episodes ago, she had initially claimed that she was getting paid $4,000 or had been offered, $4,000 to reprise her role of Bayonetta in Bayonetta 3. She then made a series of tweets kind of highlighting how that was inadequate, and she had chosen not to take on the role, and then pleaded people to take the money that they would have spent buying Bayonetta 3, and the money you spent buying.
Oh,
Bayonetta
look at
3,
that!
and
So,
take said
all
money
that
and
for
donate it
a
to charity.
small cartridge.
Oh,
Box is this big in the cartridge.
there's an
I know there's probably other things in it too.
Like in literally 1 minute, as of when while we're recording this, in 1 minute, my unboxing goes live on the Player 2 YouTube channel.
It has been unboxed.
Yeah, it has been unboxed.
It has been tampered with.
Which is why I'm more than happy to just kind of crack it open now that you've made that comment. But yeah, I mean, there's been a whole lot of reporting around it, and then Jason Schreier and VGC all kind of came out and said that's not quite right based on all the reporting like the research and reporting they've done, and so I don't know. It's gotten ugly. Also, yeah, like cartridge. Yeah, there's 3 boxes here for Bayonetta 1, 2, and 3, and only obviously 3 is the only one with an actual cartridge in it. So like you crack open.
That's still pretty cool though. I will admit that. Nothing. Bayonetta 2,
Bayonetta 2.
nothing. I mean, are they really trying to erase
But I guess
Hellena Taylor from just the game altogether? Just like, hey, no game for you,
Well,
no
if they-
game for you.
if they redo
Jennifer
it,
Hale.
and then Bayonetta 3 with reversible normal retail cover. So it's
Oh,
pretty
very
cool what they've done there. But anyway, yeah, there's been a lot of kind of conflicting reporting, and then she resurfaced during the week to kind of, I think she was trying to clarify some of her messages before.
Clarify, I'll say, yeah, I got called out.
She dug herself a pretty big hole, I think, with her follow-up tweets. So.
Yeah, no, I think this was the start of a very, very deep hole.
And it's such a shame because I reckon she's done a massive disservice to voice actors who, unless you're probably the Jennifer Hales and Troy Bakers and those like the real top dogs, are probably getting taken advantage of and underpaid and all those sorts of things. But because she's, I don't know, seems like she might have lied, or at least has kind of omitted a few key pieces of information, or just completely gotten it wrong. I don't know. I won't suggest where her intentions were, but like she's gotten it all. She's presented it all very poorly, and seems to have done, quite possibly done a lot of damage to other voice actors because of what she said. So, what are you thinking as the news has kind of developed this past week that it wasn't quite as she said in the first place?
Yeah, I think we kind of knew when it happens. Like, there's more to this story than meets the eye. And it was, yes, she did get offered $4,000, but that was the final offer compared to the other offers that they gave her beforehand. I can't remember the amounts, but she was offered more, and she said no. And I think maybe going by the $4,000, I think they just thought, you know what, we got better things to do.
Yeah.
Just give her some stupid amount so she'll go away, and we'll go find someone else. That's what it feels like, because it feels like it's just, yes, they got this offer, but then something's happened in between where either she's just like being an absolute pain or something. We don't know, but there's more to it than we think. Like, yes, they offered her this much. She said no, and then she wrote a letter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know if that's true or not. It could be. I don't know who to believe, but like you said, there was a lot of information left out of what she said.
Yeah, and it's kind of coming back to bite her. So again, I
The
think
worst part is as well, is like Jennifer Hale's game copping a lot of it too. It's not her fault.
No.
Like, she probably didn't know about the situation. Was it Platinum Games?
Yeah,
Probably just
Platinum,
asked her, going, "Hey, you want to voice act this person?" And she probably said, "Sure."
you'd 100%
No,
would,
but-
because Bayonetta's kind of become an iconic character in recent years. Hell, like big enough to be in Smash. So if you're big enough for Smash, you're a big character.
Yeah. See, if Snake can be in Smash, why can't anyone else?
Yeah. Well, if they
Even
let
though
a
that
fucking
makes absolutely
Minecraft
no
character
sense
into it.
whatsoever, because there hasn't been a Metal Gear game on Nintendo since like the Super Nintendo days. Oh no, actually no, there was a few on the GameCube. I think there was a Snake Eater one.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
GameCube.
I think that'd be right.
And
the
that's
Twin
it.
Snakes, the remake. It was the original home for the remake of Metal Gear 1 as well. So, 1.
For the GameCube.
Yeah.
Oh, Metal Gear. Oh,
Yeah.
Metal Gear. Not Metal Gear Solid.
No, I meant Solid.
Gear.
I meant Solid.
Oh, Solid.
But geez, now I'm getting them all minced up because I'm not a diehard Metal Gear.
I
fan.
don't think. I think that's just like the game in general. It just you can't make sense of it half the time.
Well, it's
I
probably that.
played 1 and 2, and I
justify
got
it.
completely lost on 2. I didn't know what the hell was going on
La
for
lay
like the
loo
last
lay lows
3
and all that
hours of
sort of
that
shit.
game. It just went weird. It was like, what the hell is going on? I thought I ate something wrong, and then I realized that was just the game. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's all a weird thing. But again, I think she's done a lot of damage for voice actors everywhere. So I'm sure they're all saying thank you, Hellena. But also, I think that's possibly your time in this industry done.
Well, I think they're just going to be very cautious unless you're, I'd say, a religious-based game company because of certain organizations she said to send money to for charity.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's what I said. That's where she dug herself an even deeper hole. So probably deep enough, like that in the Dark Knight Rises, that big hole where Bruce Wayne goes down and he has to climb. That's how deep it was. It's probably deeper than that, to be honest. It was.
I actually didn't. Like, I saw the headline saying it was an anti-abortion thing. Is like that. Was that their main thing, or like?
There was others as well,
but
then
sourcing other things, but also they happen to be anti-abortion as well.
I think so. I think
because if it's that, then I'm like, okay, maybe she clearly didn't do her research into these different charities, and she's gone, well, I like, you know, whatever their main thing is, let's support them. But then she didn't read the fine print and go, oh shit.
I think it might have been more than one though. It might have been more than one.
Okay, right.
It might have been multiple. I'm not entirely sure because I just read an article about it. I think there were other things as well that weren't anti-abortion, but I think the anti-abortion thing, especially if you're in America, which is a very touchy subject, the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Because most people will just go, you know what, screw you, I'm buying the game, which could be a win for Platinum Games.
Yeah, you'll get some people that will straight up, probably buy it to make a stand.
Yeah.
I didn't do that again, just to be clear. Like I ordered mine ages ago, but
I know, but that's different though. This is just because clearly it's a collector's edition. You're not going to buy it. Yeah, there's no chance. I mean, unless you just saw someone come out of the store and just jump them in a car park, then sure, I would believe it. But
and I'm a grown adult. I can buy the game and still make charitable donations to respectable places as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway,
mighty say. Actually, I should ask. How's the snail update?
I saw watch. A day or two after there was a couple that I actually saw in here, and I picked them up and threw them out the door as far as I could. Poor little things, because they were certainly like, I don't know, baby snails. I don't know.
That's all right. I mean, it's been raining that much. Let's be honest. The grass is probably squishy enough where they probably wouldn't even feel any pain. I mean, you can probably sink into the ground. That's how wet it is at the moment in our area. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's odd. But I never even noticed it where I used to live within our neighbourhood. But since I've moved to my particular part now, it's way worse. So anyway, rain. Stories about rain. Fascinating, everyone. What is also fascinating is the price of the DualSense Edge, which got announced this week. And for Aussies, it works out to be $320.
How much did you say?
Was it $320? Or am I thinking about the God of War price?
$320.
That's the God of War price
I thought it was
that we transacted on this week. But now I can't remember.
I thought it was more than that. But I was going to actually say the price again and say, what was that? $320.
Let me check. I'll check my EB Games account because yes, of course.
Some suckers. Someone will complain about it. Go, you know what? That's overpriced and this and that. What'd you do? I brought it. You idiot. What? Not you. Just
sorry,
anyone.
$340. Not
$340.
That's a lot for a controller. No matter how
and
many
we talked about this before. We talked about this before. That $340 is half a console. Almost the equivalent of half a console.
Hell, you can almost buy a Switch for that. In fact, at one point this week, you could buy a Switch for that because I think who was it? Big W was doing a pretty awesome sale through eBay this week that you could get a Switch for like $350. Yeah.
There you go. So you can get a Nintendo Switch or pre-order a PlayStation
controller for
Edge?
A console? Yeah, DualSense Edge. Yeah.
DualSense Edge. That is way too many words.
Yeah.
Just be like Xbox and just put Elite. What's the Edge part got to do with it?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
I don't get.
Yeah, I don't get that. But naming conventions are weird. They do weird shit. Like I mean, the control itself, like setting the price aside, what do you think of when you look at the controller?
It looks like a PS5 controller, to be honest.
Yeah,
With a
souped up one.
couple of tabs. That's all I see it as. I don't know. It has a joystick thing as well. Like
Yeah, you can remove the
replaceable
joysticks.
joysticks?
You can put convex or concave ones in there. Don't know why anyone would get the.
Okay.
Don't know.
I know
Concave
what
would be
you're
what
talking
we
about.
have. Concave would be what we have, where it's like a crater.
Well, so you want to
Convex
round
is where
it, out
yes.
rounded.
You wouldn't. I don't. Yeah, which is how.
Well, so you want to go back to the old DualShock days of the PS1,
Yeah, or
like that?
even PS3, like where it's kind of got the rounded at the top. So you basically two options. Yeah, you got those two options, which I guess whatever. But I don't see why anyone would want to go convex. I can't remember the PS4. I mean, the Xbox really does the concave ones properly. Like they are proper like craters in the controller. Oh yeah, okay. So
Oh,
yeah.
hang on, wait. Hang
That's
on,
right. So
my eyeball.
that went the right way then.
Let's have a look. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all good there. Nice eyes too, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, we're going to lean into this gimmick for a while now. Yeah, you've got those. You've got the different tabs and triggers, which is obviously going to be fantastic for anyone who's in kind of into the competitive gaming side of things, to have some of those things quick locked. I don't know what I'll use it for, but I bought one anyway, so here we are.
You could just say, "I've got one."
Well, yeah, I'm
Sucker
a
for
real
collections.
hardcore PlayStation fan. That will give me, by the time it comes out, that will be my 6th DualSense.
6th. Well, have you got all the colours?
No, I can't even remember why I end up with a second white one, but I end up with a second white one. Maybe PlayStation sent one to me or something. I don't recall there.
You did a camouflage one.
No, I didn't get sent a camo one this week, thankfully. I've got one of the purple ones when they put out those plates, because Angelica's, my wife's a big fan of purple and like the color, and so great, I'll get you one. I got a black one,
Of course.
and then I've got the God of War one coming, and now.
I missed out on that
sorry,
one.
and obviously the red one that I just waved around.
Is that red or pink?
That's red.
Cosmic. I said cosmic red, isn't it? Cosmic red.
Whatever. Yeah, it's definitely red.
See, that's the thing. They come out with weird names and weird colours. Just say red.
It's this space theme thing that they were kind of
Space
going
theme
for.
and whatever the purple one is, I can't remember. It's just
Pop C
Same.
purple, that is.
Pop C purple. It is Pop C purple and sky blue. I don't think it's called sky blue.
No, definitely not sky
Just
blue.
blue.
Neon blue
Because
or some shit.
That makes even less sense. It doesn't shine,
Yeah, I don't know.
but I mean, but with the price of the controller, when the Elite, I can't remember. So yes, the Xbox One, the Pro one, it was the Elite one. People probably making fun of that when it was $250. They're like, oh yeah, why would you pay for that? These are probably the same dickheads that pay for this
$340 for this one.
And then Xbox brought out one without the little tab things and everything for less.
Well, it was interesting that like they dropped this price for the DualSense Edge, and then Xbox countered by saying, "Hey, the design labs, you can now do that with your Elite controls as well."
So take that.
So I think they've been kind of sitting waiting for the announcement, and then we're just gonna.
I reckon
fly
they just
back
had a
across,
big.
so-
I reckon they just like we see those like war rooms things. They had two people have got keys. So
Yeah.
just turn the keys and then push the button, go,
Yeah,
and just
and
hit
they
it.
smash the button. They beat PlayStation in that one for
They-
sure.
they
The
just
controller might
see
be amazing.
Jim.
The DualSense Edge might be amazing, but
say-
like, that's a good. counter.
Congratulations, Jim. You get our PlayStation by Xbox. This is the
Here's how
stuff
you-
PlayStation used to do years ago, when Xbox used to stuff up like we did with old mate Shu with his how to give a game to a friend. Here you go, thanks.
Here's how to share your games on PS4. Boom.
And
Brilliant.
that's what they do every time they stuffed up at E3. PlayStation used to come out the next day and just say something completely the opposite, and everyone used to go woo and just start clapping and going, "Yeah, take that Xbox!" And now, haven't things changed since then?
Yeah, and speaking of change, our final topic for this episode is the changing face of Geralt in the Witcher
yeah.
TV series. Today we learned, this morning as of when we record, we learned that Liam Hemsworth is in, while the old, returning Superman, Henry Cavill, is out.
Well, I don't know if it's old or new. It's just
Well, he was.
returning.
Yeah, he's.
I
Yeah,
think everyone played Superman when he left. He just
used to be Superman. Will be Superman again. So.
left Superman, then came back to be Superman.
And I'm adamant he's just chasing the money from that. Like
I
he
don't.
claims to love
Oh,
The
let's
Witcher,
be
and I
honest.
think he clearly
I
did.
don't
But
blame him.
yeah, that's a lot of money.
He got to play his dream of being Geralt, and I don't know what happened there. We don't know. Maybe said, "Hey, sorry guys, DC gave me a big bag of money."
It's the
and
bag.
got on his horse and
he got a
just
bag.
rode off.
Yeah. I mean, he injured himself a couple times on set, but also he chose to perform his own stunts. So you had the opportunity, you didn't take. Like, I feel like that's
Had
on
the
you.
chance.
But yeah, I think it's all the money. It's surely the money. And
Yeah.
Look, he probably loved his time as Superman as well. So like, I don't necessarily blame him if he wants to go back to it. But I don't know.
And maybe because he's
Bit of a dog
old
way
Zack,
to do it.
may know Zack Snyder this time around, so he thought, maybe.
Maybe the movie might actually work. Doesn't matter. Like in like 2 days, they're gonna scrap the whatever plans they had for the DC universe, DCEU anyway. And
Well, they've got old James Gunn in charge of it now, so who knows what will happen.
that actually might make things a bit better. Actually,
Might make sense because you got a guy that knows comic books and did comic book movies, and they're all good.
and let's get a Superman that everyone loves. You can kind of see, where they're going with the whole thing. But it's a bit of a shame that it kind of, I guess, The Witcher cops a bit of a backhander. At
I
the same
understand
time.
why couldn't they just delay it, or I don't know why, but
Yeah, just work
but
around.
out of all, work around it. But it's just a weird thing. I'm not trying to take a dig at him, but why Liam Hemsworth?
Because he's a Hemsworth. That's marketable, I think.
Or did the
But they
intern
couldn't
just
get
get the
Chris
wrong
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth? Like, all right, who's the next best one? Liam? Oh, that'll do.
Well,
I still feel like there'll be other people out there that could do that role, but I don't know. It's one of those weird things because old Henry was a fan of The Witcher, so he was really into that character. And I don't remember a good movie that Liam's been in, except I don't actually know any good movie. What movies has he been in? I actually don't even know.
Has been in The Hunger Games.
Maybe. Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. He was in those Expendables too. I know that one.
Yeah, The Expendables 2,
His
Paranoia,
name is Billy.
Empire State, Cut Bank, The Dressmaker,
Oh,
Killer
big
Man,
movies.
Arkansas, Home and Away back in the day, Neighbours back in
What?
the
He was
day.
in Home and What? And they sure they'll get it mixed up with Chris.
Nah, I think they've all been there.
They've all been there. All Hemsworth have been in Home and Away.
He's been in the
Okay.
Muppets, but anyway, whatever.
What?
The Hunger Games is obviously his main thing. So, he was in Independence Day Resurgence, but that's not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah,
'Cause I don't
everyone's
think that
probably
movie was very
forgotten
good,
about
was it?
that movie anyway, so let's not even talk about it.
And at one point, he was married to Miley Cyrus,
Yeah.
which is
Oh,
also
well.
probably something he would rather forget too. So, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's a shame. I don't think I'm not overly concerned, and maybe it's just like the Aussie represent. Like, I'm not too worried about Liam Hemsworth. It's just a shame that we're losing Henry Cavill because he was doing such an amazing job in the role.
It was.
So
So I say good luck to Liam because he's going to need it. Because he'll just do one thing wrong and everyone's just going to go, oh, you're shit. Bring back, and there's going to be like a petition to bring back Henry, all this stuff, and just leave the poor guy act. It could be good. Who knows? He might
I
actually
hope
do a
he's
good job.
like
Well, everyone said the same thing about Ben Affleck and Batman, and look how that turned out.
yeah,
Actually, pretty good.
yeah, Batman, yeah. The actors both did an amazing role in their respective things. It's just that the movie itself was shit.
Yeah.
So-
You can't really help if the movie just sucks.
Yeah.
But
But
It's
you
one
could
of
do
those
your
things,
role
it
and do
is-
your role well, and he did. So
I think when you say, oh, he's leaving, it got Liam Hemsworth, you just think, But you never know. For some reason, I think like Henry's like a big dude. I look at Liam Hemsworth, I feel like he's just going to be like a twig.
Oh
compared
no,
to-
I think. I mean, we know what a Hemsworth can be based on Chris. So, I
Yeah.
think Liam is probably going to be bulking up now, and he's got plenty of time to do it because season 3 still has to air, and that is with
Oh,
Henry
yes.
Cavill. So, it won't be till probably 2024 at the earliest that we actually
Oh,
see.
he's got plenty of time then.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time to get jacked. So, I don't think we have to worry too much there. We'll just have to see how it all plays out. Like, I wonder if there's some way that they can kind of justify the different look towards the end of season 3, like something that they kind of do to Geralt there.
His face gets burnt off. Gets
So let's rebuild it. or like some
Just
spell that is cast on him or whatever.
I saw like a Doctor Who thing, which got ruined thanks to dickheads on the internet. I don't watch Doctor Who, so it doesn't really bother me. But straight up there, spoiler, done, ruined.
Yeah, the internet's shit. The internet's the
I
worst.
hate it.
We
The
should have
internet
had
has some good things like cat videos
it.
and then the rest is just shit. Just
Complete and utter shit. Yeah, I'm with you.
it's just all. It's just
Especially the people on it. Except us. We're top people.
Yes.
We're
we
good
don't.
shit.
We don't believe in the internet.
No.
Just cat videos.
You barely had it for the majority of the time that we've been doing this show, so.
Oh yeah, I just had dial-up, so everything that came in about 3 weeks later because that's when it finally uploaded.
What did you say? Oh, mate,
What?
the episode's been done for weeks now.
What? Queen's dead? What are you talking about?
Trump's not president anymore?
Trump lost? Wait, no. Trump's president?
Yeah. Didn't The Simpsons predict that?
Oh, there's
Which it did.
probably there's a lot of cartoons that predicted just made up stuff, and for some reason people just believe it. South Park predicted one thing, I can't remember what it was. I was like, wow, that really happened. But no one talks about that because it's not The Simpsons.
It's not The Simpsons because The Simpsons done it time and time and time again.
Every dead time. And that's what everyone goes off. They go off cartoons that just made up silly things that were creative, and now people aren't creative anymore because they just can't do it.
People are shit.
Just can't do it.
All right, we will wrap things up there for this episode because it is not the only episode that we have to record tonight. In fact, by the time this patched episode goes live, you will have already seen, hopefully, or had the opportunity to see / listen to our review discussion based on Gotham Knights. That will be up on Monday, as of when we record this, so tomorrow, or yesterday, as of when you're listening to this, or have the opportunity to listen to this. So make sure to go check that one out for our full thoughts on that one. There's a whole bunch of Gotham Knights content anyway, from my review to our co-op player 2 plays, now the review discussion. There's a lot of Gotham Knights stuff there.
Then there'll be a later on video where
so.
Finally, yes, and then there'll be another video of us doing whatever the 4-player co-op will be.
Presumably a fourth, yeah. Whoever that ends up being.
Be bothered. I shouldn't say that.
No, we'll make it work. We'll make something work. It'll be worth it.
Okay.
But we'll wait until then. I'm probably not going to play the game until that point at this stage. Other things to play, like Boys Simulator 2022.
Well, I played Boy Simulator 2018. I don't know. 2018.
Sorry, you'll be jumping across to 2022 before this Gotham Knights DLC comes out. But anyway, if you enjoyed this episode of Patched, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All the buttons down below. Hit the notification bell. That way you're alerted to every new video the moment it goes live on the channel. That includes more Patched, Player 2 plays, Gamer School, and a whole bunch more. Awesome stuff there, so please subscribe and go check it out. Visit the website, player2.net.au, for reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to the podcast series Patched, the Player 2 Pixelcast, and Dev Diary. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au, kicking a few bucks, lower tiers early access, higher tiers monthly episode exclusives, and finally there's Twitter. Matto?
Matto_Phil.
Paul James Games for myself. The website is player2au, and until next week, just don't be an asshole on the internet, or say wrong things on the internet. Don't lie on the internet. Don't share
internet. Things. Don't share things on the internet. Just keep them to yourself.
In fact, just avoid spoilers, so just get off the internet for the next 2 weeks, except for when you're downloading and watching this show.
Yeah, just do that and nothing else.
So see you next week, because you'll be watching and listening to this show.
See you in 2 weeks, because that's when God of War comes out.
Yeah, and I'm going to spoil everything on you then.
Oh dear. No.
All right, see you everyone.